The broadcast is live.
All right. Let's
We got the roll in.
If you're in the mood for real food, it's Concord Food Co-op.
Oh, it's a good thing it's Friday. What's happening is Nazzy from the Pulse of New Hampshire. So ready for a great weekend. All right, it is time for the Concord Co-op Community Connections with, for the final time, Mr. Greg Lessard by my side. Greg, are we going to make this announcement public that you've been accepted and run for the White House? And
you have I guess somewhat launched it as public, yes. So the show will go on, but this is my last day at the Concord Food Co-op. Starting Monday, I will be the Director of Housing Initiatives at the Concord Coalition to End Homelessness. So Kim, that has been producing the show, will be the new host of the show starting next Friday. However, the Concord Coalition to End Homelessness has a bluegrass barbecue coming up on July 24th, and we will be on in July several times on the show as the guest. So I will no longer be hosting, but I will be on in just a matter of weeks, I think.
You know, I think this is great because, you know, you're going to be serving your community in a different way. I mean, you've been serving it through the co-op for so many years with pride. And we know that you have been a huge supporter of the Concord Coalition to End Homelessness. And I think this is a very fitting, switch of careers for you. I think this is a very natural thing. And I think it's going to be great with you at the helm at the coalition.
Yeah, I'm absolutely looking forward to it. There's our best guess is approximately 100 long-term homeless in the greater Concord community, and that's what we'll be addressing, is trying to figure out housing solutions for these 100 individuals, getting them housed.
That's right. We'll do that. And like I said, I'm sure we'll be hearing from you over the next few months, not just because of the barbecue, because of other wonderful things you're doing. Now, for those that aren't familiar with this wonderful program they have at the co-op. It's called Round It Up. And every month there's a different local nonprofit that is the recipient of this. And this is amazing. So when you're at the register and you see your total on the screen, what happens from there? The cashier asks you, hey, do you want to round it up? Tell us how it works, Greg.
Yeah, that's that simple. Would you like to round up for for example, they'll say, this month it is the Friendly Kitchen. And so that is our guest today. Is Valerie. Valerie is the executive director of the Friendly Kitchen. And the program Rounded Up at the Register, we kicked it off April of 2019, so a little bit over 2 years, and it has raised $86,500 for local nonprofits. So every month, folks round up, and it could be 25 cents, it could be whatever, but it amounts to a check, a nice check going out to the organizations.
That's it. And Valerie, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
Tell us a little bit about what you do at the Friendly Kitchen.
So the Friendly Kitchen is the soup kitchen in Concord, New Hampshire. It's been in existence. Last year, we actually celebrated our 40th year of existence in Concord. We feed anybody who is hungry, who wants to come for a meal without asking any questions whatsoever. On average, we probably serve, it's fluctuated, and obviously with the pandemic and stuff, that's affected numbers, but between 45,000 and 50,000 meals a year. We serve dinner 7 days a week. We serve lunch 5 days a week, and breakfast Saturday and Sunday all year. And then during the winter months, to coincide that Concord Coalition to End Homelessness does for their winter emergency shelter, we do breakfast while they're open Monday through Friday as well.
Yeah, and I imagine during the pandemic, I mean, you were still feeding people. It was just different. I mean, you had to wear your PPE. You had to still make sure your people were safe as well as the people you were feeding. Tell us a little bit about what you guys did.
Yeah, so we, under the emergency orders of the governor, we actually had to transition and within 2 days to takeout meals.
Mhm.
in order to make sure we kept our guests safe as well as our volunteers. We're a very volunteer-driven organization, very small staff. We only have one full-time staff person and then several part-time, but we
Mhm.
have about 52 different volunteer groups that come in and prepare the meals, prepare the dinners. Lots of folks are elderly, so out of concern for obviously keeping everybody safe, we moved to takeout. But we never missed a meal at all, and it worked good. And none of our folks came down with COVID, and none of the guests actually came down with COVID. So we were happy with that. And we have actually just recently opened our dining room back up, but people now actually have an option of whether they want to eat in the dining room or whether they want to take a meal to go, which was never an option before. I think people are actually more comfortable with that. So it's actually been going extremely well.
Valerie, could you talk a little bit about food insecurity in our community? I think there would be the belief that you're really servicing the individuals that are experiencing homelessness, but it's my understanding it extends beyond that, the guests that you have at the Friendly Kitchen.
Absolutely. So that is kind of an assumption that folks make, that we're only serving those that are homeless. That's not true. We have a lot of housed people that we know are housed that come in. We only know this because they engage in conversation with staff and myself. We do have some families that come in, and we do recognize one of the new things that we're doing because of food insecurity, and especially through the pandemic. We have been partnering with Merrimack Valley Daycare and the Boys and Girls Club to actually bring meals to families. So identifying those that are working poor, and they are struggling to put food on the table on a daily basis. So we're helping to supplement and provide some actually already prepared meals for. We currently have 10 families, and we're in the process of adding an additional 15. So, and then we partner with others. Well, we have a lot of folks that through the school system, they've done a great job trying to do a backpack program. So we provide like some excess stuff that we may have that we are not going to use. And we're always just looking at new ways now to get out, get out food that we may not utilize in our facility and get it out to families and individuals that are, low income that need some help. So.
Now, your facility, it's probably what I'm from memory, it's 3 to 4 years old or somewhere around there. But it's a wonderful new facility with a nice commercial kitchen, and it's very well organized. You have a walk-in freezer, refrigerator, and a nice pantry that's well stocked. And you have a lot of organizations that are actually preparing the food and bringing the food. You have an unbelievable schedule. Very loyal organizations that year after year are helping you. The Concord Food Co-op every other month prepares the meal. So we've been participating for a bit. But if somebody wants to either volunteer or provide food donations. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because it seems like your schedule is very full with volunteers. You have a great support base. But how's that going in this COVID environment?
Yeah, so we actually through the COVID environment, we did end up losing a couple of our groups just for, out of concern with health concerns and so forth. So we've had other groups that have stepped up and filled in on those slots where we need groups, but people can always reach out to us. We have different projects at different times with, trying to reorganize and different things. Obviously, with this new program that we're calling the Family Friendly Meal Program. And as we add on new families to that, we'll be looking for folks to come in and prepare meals during the morning hours when we're not serving breakfast. So in between like breakfast and the lunchtime. The co-op, as we said, Greg, the co-op has been a great supporter of the Friendly Kitchen for years. And especially with the Roundup program, et cetera. And we have great partnerships, so we don't tend to lose a lot of volunteers, but we do have some slots currently open, and we have some folks, actually some of our groups that couldn't come. What they did do is they ordered food from different businesses in Concord to help support them, during the times of they were struggling, some of the restaurants. So some of our groups actually ordered it out and had the food shipped to us so that we could pack it and give it out that way.
Now, Valerie, in the beginning, Greg had mentioned, we're not sure how much the Roundup program is going to bring in. Could bring in 25 cents, could bring in $2,500. Break it down for us. Let's say, for example, in the month of August, which is your month, all the money from Roundup goes to the Friendly Kitchen. To feed one family, what is the cost on that? I know it's different on different times of the year, but to feed one family, how much does that usually cost?
It's through Feed NH, it's under like $2 to prepare a meal. So, every cent that we collect, and through this Roundup program, and we've been a recipient in past years as well, it goes a long way. I mean, through COVID, obviously, we had expenses because of the takeout process, and et cetera.
Right.
So this Roundup money goes an extremely long way.
Right.
It's terrific. We're very
yeah, and that's kind of the point I'm getting at. I mean, it's just it's a little goes a long way, and if you can round up, or even if you want to throw a couple extra dollars in, it's going to go help out so many different people. Because like you said, pre-COVID, it was about $2 a meal. And now what is it? Probably, because you've got to have takeout containers and different things. It's probably what, $4, $5 a meal now?
Probably with the takeout, it's probably closer to $4 or $5 because, supplies like that. And obviously, as everybody knows, all supplies are going up in cost. But, we have made it work. And I mean, and again, the co-op has been a very generous partner of ours, as well as other entities in the community.
Yeah, the Friendly Kitchen just has a great reputation in the community. It just, I think there's a great support base for your organization, very consistent support base. You guys just do such great work, and it's amazing that on such a minimal staff. Again, would you say you have one or two full-time people? It is
just one full-time staff person, and that's not even myself. I'm part-time. We have one full-time office manager who helps also coordinate years, and we have about 7 part-time dining room coordinators that just kind of manage behaviors and make sure folks are following our rules, and 2 part-time janitors and a part-time kitchen manager. So we're pretty small.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about food donations. What are you looking for when it comes to food donations? And is it better even if somebody just if they can make a financial donation so you can get the kind of things that you need to fill in versus if somebody brings 2 cans of beans, you can't make a meal out of that. It's hard if it's all mismatched stuff to create a meal. You need quantities. So talk a little bit about the donation side. If people are hearing this and want to help you.
Yeah, so we get a lot of donations. A lot of people do different food drives for us. It's always best, what we try to tell people now, and even is to reach out, because our needs change. They change on a weekly basis, depending on what we have received. We also, because we take advantage of the New Hampshire Food Bank, as well as we receive USDA, that's the United States Department of Agriculture. We receive food through that program. But the needs vary and change weekly, especially with this new added program. We're trying to keep stock for that separate, so it doesn't interfere with our main facility and getting those meals out to people. It's always best even to check we have a new website. We're updating it regularly now with what our needs are as far as donations. But either that, non-perishables, monetary is great. But it's, just even a phone call to our organization just to check with us, because it will change. Like this, a lot of times we may need, salad dressings and condiments, that type of stuff. And then, things, like you said, Greg, a lot of times somebody dropped off, 5 small cans of, corn may not be the best thing for us. So,
right.
And we do get a lot of calls where somebody wants to give us like a small quantity of, something, but again, we're serving upwards, at different meal times between, 50, 75 people. So we have to have enough quantity to prepare a meal of that size. So
Now, Valerie, talk a moment about the volunteers who are helping you guys out, helping you organize the food, helping you distribute the food. Do you have volunteers helping you that also receive some of the food for their families?
I would say most of our volunteers do not receive the food that the groups that are coming in. Again, we have 52 different partners throughout our community, and those vary from business partners to church groups, and a lot of those groups will rotate their volunteers. So they may have a core group of 20 people, because we did a count at one point, and I think total volunteers was over 700. So that come through our facility, but our volunteers, we wouldn't exist without them, because I always say that I say the kitchen would run even if I wasn't there, because they're going to make it happen. So we're very grateful for them.
Yeah, I know that you do have a wonderful staff. I know people that have gone through and received food when they were down on their luck, and all the volunteers you have are just so kind and so non-judgmental to the people going through, and that's very important. Just the fact that they're treating each other equally, and I think that's very special. I think that's a great way to treat everybody.
Have you seen are the guest levels at the Friendly Kitchen, have they been fairly stable through the years, or have you seen an uptick, or where's the direction of people that need your service?
I would say so during COVID, it's been it's fluctuated a lot from day to day, and some of that obviously partnering with we have a great relationship with the Concord Coalition. So through the pandemic, they extended their hours. So some folks, they're up there and they're getting services. So they may not necessarily walk down to the facility at lunchtime, and they'll wait till dinner. So the past year, it's been all over the place. But I would say previous to the pandemic, we were seeing an uptick in numbers. At dinner time, when I was hired at the kitchen, it was closer to the 80 mark. And then before the pandemic, it was running closer to 100. So we were seeing an uptick. And I would say over the past few weeks, we are starting to see some new faces that we have not seen before. So, people, are struggling. And so now we're going to see some new folks. So it's going to be interesting over the next few months to see
what Valerie, give out your website again once again for the Friendly Kitchen.
It's www.thefriendlykitchen.org.
Yeah, there we go. Greg, now in the final minute and a half, now Valerie just mentioned a lot of times the folks from the coalition who get service from the coalition, they'll make their way down to the Friendly Kitchen. Tell us about that relationship that the co-op has with the Friendly Kitchen.
Well, it is, we have in the winter an emergency winter shelter. So they tend to wake up and go to the Friendly Kitchen. We have a resource center that's available during the day, and we set out snacks. But again, those aren't meals. So there is a little, they just commute between the Friendly Kitchen and the Concord Coalition to End Homelessness. They commute between the two for a warm place and a warm meal. So there has been a very good relationship with the Concord Coalition and the Friendly Kitchen for quite some time. And as Valerie was saying, many of the guests are the same guests, and but the Friendly Kitchen does extend beyond. So we at the Concord Coalition to End Homelessness, we're not set up to serve families. So it's really just individuals, and so that is a population that the Friendly Kitchen serves as well. It is tight quarters frequently at the Concord Coalition, especially what historically the emergency winter shelter has been. So it is not really a place that certainly is conducive to kids and families. So it's great that they are comfortable. Because that's a big step, I think, for someone to walk into a facility and say, I need a meal.
Right. In the final seconds, Valerie, please give out the phone number and the website once again of the Friendly Kitchen.
Sure. So the Friendly Kitchen website, www.thefriendlykitchen.org, and the phone number, area code 603-224-7678.
And Greg, take us home. Talk about the co-op. The address, the website, one final time.
ConcordFoodCoop.coop, and their hot bar is opening in about a week. So start going to our Facebook page and see when we're finally going to be opening that hot bar back up. People are really looking forward to that. That's something that's been missed in our community for a period of time now.
Excellent. Greg, thank you. Valerie, thank you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you, Valerie.
If you're in the mood for real food, it's Concord Food Co-op.
Well, all righty then. See you, Valerie.
Great. Take care.
Take care.